Well, hello, my friends. I'm excited to be here with Jason Gertis. He's the executive director for the Carol Joy Howling Camp. Jason, it's good to see you again.
Great to see you too, Andy. Thank you for having me again.
Time flies. I mean, the last time we were talking in 2022 around the holidays, talked a little bit about the gala, but here we are. What are we, like, maybe 6 weeks out?
Yeah, and from here on out, it's a mad rush for us to summer camp. So we're excited about that, and we have over 500 kids registered for camp, and so it's still cold out, but it's feeling more and more like summer every day.
Absolutely. So you have your 10th annual Heart of Camp Gala coming up on the 1st of April. But before we dive into the specifics of that, just tell us again about the organization and your mission and all that good stuff.
Yeah, Carol Joy Howling is just an incredible place, and the mission is simple. It's faith alive. We think that our places are just really special in the way they get to help faith come alive to folks that are hearing the good news for the very first time, or to those that are growing. And so we want this to be a special place that everyone knows they are welcome, and that they belong, and that they're special, so that they're unconditionally loved by God. So that's our vision.
Yeah, and what a beautiful setting to have all of this happening. I mean, it's encouraging people in this moment. I mean, just to go out there and experience all that you have to offer. But 10th annual gala.
That's hard to believe. When we started this 10 years ago, we were jumping in, and I remember the very first one walking in thinking, oh, what an amazing show of support, gathering all of our friends like that together and getting to introduce new people to our ministry. And it has just grown substantially. So it's become a big part of who we are.
Yeah.
And last year we sold out. We had 600 people.
Wow.
And we actually overfilled it and still had to turn people away. So that just shows you the impact our ministry has and how people want to support it.
Well, let's talk about this year's gala. Like I said, April 1st. So give us the specifics. Are you going to sell out again? Probably.
Yeah, it looks like we will, actually.
Yeah.
So we're well on the way to doing that. We have I think we have over 50 tables of the 60 tables sold out. And so we still have a little bit of room left, but we encourage people to be involved really quick. We're back at a view at the West Shores, just outside of Waterloo, which is a wonderful facility, great staff, tremendous food that's provided through there. And you know, the heart of the heart of camp is the gala name, specifically focusing on how the camp reaches out to help underserved families. Provide the opportunity to come to camp. So we have a great policy that says anyone that wants to come to camp gets to. It's called our campership program. And so that the gala specifically reaches out and helps us invite new people to camp to experience all that we have to offer, as well as help subsidize the cost of camp for every child that's coming, because it's important. We feel like it's worth it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think kids being able to go to camp, I mean, that's a game changer. That's a life changer in their young lives, to be able to do that. And you don't know what ripple effect that has, but it's huge.
Yeah, and for so many of us that had that experience, it's something that was just part of who we are, and a piece of independence and confidence.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's been a privilege that not everybody gets.
Yeah.
And so we want to change that.
Yeah.
We think that every child deserves to have that experience.
So
that's so much more than just the event. It goes back to the heart of who we are, and the event's a fun way to celebrate that together, and for people that already love us and know us to introduce us to others that join in the fun if they had more knowledge.
So let's just talk a little bit more about the event. So again, April 1st, is it a dinner? Is it a buffet? I mean, what can people expect when they come on out?
Yeah, it's a formal dinner. We have a silent auction, a live auction, appetizers, drinks. The meal is just full. Then we do a program We always highlight a couple people that we provide awards to that have significantly impacted our ministry. So we have two fun ones this year. We have our Les Robbins, who served as our volunteer CFO for 11 years.
Wow.
That we're honoring. And then Papillion La Vista Schools, who contracts all their outdoor education with us. And so partnering and helping kids uncover the love of the outdoors in the way that we believe we both share that idea, what that does for education.
And sponsorships. I know a lot of businesses and individuals or foundations sponsor this event. So how, up to what point do you take sponsorships? I'm sure a lot of people actually would love to do that. Yeah,
and quite a few of those in already. Sponsorships range from anywhere, the sponsoring a table, which is 10 people, of $1,250 up until $25,000. And there's different things that each one of those sponsors gets. But the overall arching goal is to introduce new people to the camp.
Yeah.
And so if people want to be a part of that and want to sponsor, they can call us at Carol Joy Howling Camp at 402-944-2544, or they can, we have a website for the gala at caroljoyhowling.org/gala, and all the information is there to be involved as buying individual tickets or being sponsors or providing auction items. There's lots of different ways people can be involved in this one.
Well, Jason, I mean, what this organization does, what you do, and all the members of your team and the volunteers, I mean, it makes such a huge difference in the lives of so many. And this gala is just one way to come out and support it, because I know there's a lot of other ways too as well, to support what you're doing. So I just want to thank you today for coming on the show and talking to us about this.
Thank you for letting us share the news of what we're up to. It's really an honor.
Absolutely. And we'll chat again with you maybe closer to the summer and kind of find out how things are going. But again, folks, April 1st, Carol Joy Howling Camp, and the event is at the View in Waterloo.
Yep, the View West Shores in Waterloo, the Heart of Camp Gala.
Yeah, wonderful. All right, Jason, thanks so much, and the best to you, and we'll talk soon.
Yep, thank you very much, Amy.
And folks, we'll be right back. Well, hello, my friends. I'm here with Gina Ponce. She is the president of the Women on a Mission for Change. Gina, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So we have, meaning you, have an exciting conference coming up here on the 24th of March. It's the annual conference, Believe, Be Brave, Be Bold. This is what you said, the 12th year, and it's 12th year. So why don't we just start out and just tell us, what is Women on a Mission for Change, and who do you serve?
Well, we started this organization about 13 years ago. And my dream was to be able to serve women who couldn't afford to go to the expensive conferences, that were too shy, that were just in that space in their life where they didn't know where to go or how to do it. And so we just decided to create a conference for them. And we chose the pillars of careers, health, life skills, education, and spirituality. And we didn't want the women to break up into rooms. So we decided that we would have it all in one room and bring the speakers to them. So that everybody could get the whole conference. Because sometimes when we go to conferences, we pick these great topics and then we miss out on some other great ones. So this way they get a piece of all of it. And then each year we have a different theme. We try to focus on all the speakers to be some speakers locally, so that after the conference, the women can connect with those speakers after the fact. And so, yeah, so we've been having a really great time. The entire conference is planned by volunteers. And some of the volunteers that I have been with me from the beginning. The first year it was a lot, let's talk about what we want to do. And then the second year, I decided to make it a 501c3 so that we were able to raise funds and write grants and do things like that.
Yeah. How wonderful and how exciting. And I just love when I'll speak, especially women, you know, you have this idea and you look at it and you create and then you bring it to fruition. And then it kind of just evolves and, and it keeps, evolving into bigger and better and new things. So, it's exciting. And I know you have a dynamic group of speakers this year. I keep getting emails and I'm seeing things on Facebook about what's happening. So let's just talk about, so it's on the 24th. You kind of explained everybody's in one room, but let's talk about some of the speakers. Let's spend a little bit of time talking about speakers. So,
okay. So Leah Baez is our keynote speaker, and she's been around for a while. I met Leah because she was the commencement speaker at Bellevue University's graduation. And she left such an impact on the crowd that I decided to kind of sort of follow her. And so I followed her around. I've been to a couple of her presentations. And when we as a committee talked about who we wanted somebody that was really going to tell their story and then tell us how they came from their story to who they are today. So that's how we came to the decision to pick Leah. Monica Wells is a very spiritual person. She is with the Susie Buffett Institute, and she just came very highly recommended. The spiritual component is a very particular component because we take it to a level where it's not offensive. So it's not, talking about God or the Bible, it's just talking about identifying who their higher power is and how do they use that higher power to get to where they want to get to. So Monica came really, really highly recommended. So did Leah.
Yeah. So you can kind of relate to it regardless of where you land in the journey of whatever you believe in. So cool. Yeah.
And sometimes, last year we had a speaker that after she spoke, she sang, and so it became wow.
Right.
She kind of looked at me because she was like, okay, do you want me to go there? And I was like, you know what, if the spirit moved you and it's moving people in the room, then go for it. I mean, it is what it is. Dejanira Lynn Cook just has a special place in my heart. When she was in Mercy High School, she was a high school student at Mercy. I became her mentor, and I used to teach Spanish in the Upward Bound program at Creighton University. And she was part of that. Yeah. And so we stayed in touch all of these years. She is now a certified mental health therapist, and has grown to become an incredible woman. And I just thought that the girls would really, really relate to her and that she would be able to have a great story, especially because we really encourage the girls to identify a mentor, and that mentors do stay in your lives sometimes forever, and my relationship with Dejanira is that type of relationship where we've known each other for, it's got to be at least 15 years. And she still reaches out to me when she needs guidance or when she needs help with something. And so I decided, you know what, it's time for you to step up to the next level and talk about what you do. So she's really excited.
And I will tell you, we've got like a minute or so left. So, so if you just want to mention, because all this stuff is on your website too, and you've got bios, and I also will put the website up on the, along the screen, but I also want to talk about social media because I've been seeing a lot on Facebook, has it been, or so inviting people to like the Facebook page.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you can get a ton, you can read about all the speakers on the Facebook page. So
I usually put everything on LinkedIn, the Women on a Mission Facebook page, and my personal Facebook page. And Bellevue University also allows me to put stuff on theirs.
yeah,
Because that's who my employer is. And they're very great supporters of what I'm doing with this organization. So we put it out a lot because we want everybody to know about it.
yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about the conference before I let you go, because I'm kind of glancing over here because I'm looking at this beautiful ad. It's breakfast and lunch provided 8:30 to 3 o'clock. You have some great sponsors, partners, Bellevue University, OPPD, No More Empty Pots. Free girls tickets ages 14 to 18, $70 for individual, 25 for college. Who comes to this conference? I mean, anybody can come to this conference, right?
Anybody can come to this conference. Anybody, everybody, and anybody. As far as the young girls, I reach out to the high schools.
Yeah.
And they bring the girls, they pay for it. This year we were blessed by No More Empty Pots, and they sponsored all the high school girls to come.
That's awesome.
We limited to 50 girls because we're doing a big project with them this year. That's going to take time. So we don't want the crowd to be, too large with the girls. The girls have their own speakers and the women have their own speakers, but throughout the day they are together in the same room.
Okay.
So for the keynote and for the spiritual part, they're all together because we want the girls to get to know the women and maybe identify a woman in the room that they can connect with. So it's a very interactive day.
Yeah. How exciting, Gina. How exciting. And again, thank you for taking an idea that brings women together and girls together and really makes a difference. So again, March 24th, all the information's on the website, which is womenonamissionomaha.org, and lots of great information is there. So I look forward, I'm sorry, this like flew by. But I look forward to talking to you again, and we'll put the 24th on my calendar. So
absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Gina, thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
You too.
Bye.
And folks, we'll be right back. Well, hello, my friends. I'm excited to be here with Simone Weber. She is the CEO of Table Grace Ministries and musical missionary. Simone, thank you so much for joining me today.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Well, I want to just dive right into and talk about Table Grace Ministries. For those who might not be familiar, just why don't you kind of give us the mission and kind of just an overall kind of look at what you do.
Absolutely. So Table Grace Ministries, we're an outreach here in Omaha, and our main outreach hub is Table Grace Cafe in downtown Omaha at 1611.5 Farnham Street. Our mission and vision is nourishing hungry bodies and souls through music. And so we have a community cafe with no prices on our menu. We invite people every day to come in and have really healthy food made from scratch. A lot of it is donated from local grocery stores and gardens and things like that. We have a partnership with Saving Grace Food Rescue, and we serve the community Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Just recently, we opened for breakfast in February, so we're excited that we're also offering specialty coffee. And then we're having, breakfast sandwiches, hot and ready meals. And then at lunch, it's pizza, salad, and soup. And when you come to Table Grace, you're greeted a little bit differently. We usually say, welcome to Table Grace. Would you like to volunteer or donate today? So people can either make a donation and pay it forward to others, or they can volunteer for their meal. And so we also have Mobile Grace food truck that can go in every area of the community. We offer music ministry in the cafe, and also that's part of how we do our fundraising is we take the music out to community events and churches and anywhere that they want us to come.
Well, let me ask you a quick question then. So what is volunteer for your meal? What does that mean?
So when somebody comes in to volunteer for their meal, we have a task list in the back, and one of our managers for the day will kind of oversee the tasks. And so if somebody's willing to do things like, wash the table, sweep the floor, wash the windows, there's kitchen tasks as well if people are skilled to do that. And there's some basic food handling that we'll coach people with. So yeah, it's about 15 minutes of a volunteer task to help contribute for the day.
Wonderful. So where did this vision come from?
Great question. My husband is a chef and I'm a singer-songwriter and ministry leader. And we, back in 2008, put our heads together and said, if we could do something for the rest of our lives with our skills and talents, what would that look like? And we had seen other musicians linking themselves to Compassion International and World Vision. And so every time you went to their concert, you would hear sponsor a child. And so we thought, well, what could we do with our skills that would invite people into a mission in our community every time we went out and shared our music? So we came up with Nourishing Hungry Bodies and Souls back then in 2008, started with personal chef service to single parent families, and then we did music tours. After about 3 years, we realized that wasn't far reaching enough because we were only taking care of about 4 families at the time. And we had received a volunteer group from Lincoln who came to help prepare fresh produce. And they had just been to a cafe in Denver called the Same Cafe. Same stands for So All May Eat. And so Matt flew down there, learned everything he could about this community cafe with no prices on their menu. He was just blown away with the concept and hadn't ever heard of something before. So we learned about these community cafes back in 2010. Okay. And that's kind of where we got the idea. We learned about the One World Everybody Eats organization, which now has a network of, I don't know, over 70 cafes across the United States. But back then it was just a handful of about 5 or 6 of us. And so, yeah, that's where it came from. No prices on the menu. And here we are.
What a great story. And yeah, what a great story. I do want to talk about a couple things. We've got a fundraiser coming up here in a few days. So talk about the gala and Voices of Transformation and what's kind of special about this.
We have an amazing guest artist that's coming this year. His name is Paul Oman. He's out of Wisconsin. He's going to start at the beginning with a blank canvas. And by the end of the event, after original music that we've written and stories and scriptures and impact stories and all those kinds of things, we will have a beautiful mural that will be hanging at Table Grace. Title of the mural is going to be Marketplace Worship, because once a month we have an opportunity to come together with a visiting pastor from Morning Star Lutheran Church and other congregations, and we share we share in communion and prayer and all these kind of things. And so we meet people where they are. And there was a very magnificent experience that happened about a year ago that we're going to be sharing about at our gala. And so we have Paul coming to paint this mural so that it can hang at Table Grace Cafe. And if you're not able to come to the fundraiser, or if you missed it, you can come to Table Grace Cafe for breakfast or lunch, as long as it's hanging, and see this beautiful work of art that will be happening on March 10th at St. Thomas Lutheran Church.
Wonderful. And I want to make sure we just talk briefly, because I know that there's still planning around this. It's Table Grace, the musical. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so our friend and co-writer Jay Gish and I have written a musical entitled Table Grace the Musical, based on the mission and impact that the community cafe has on our community. And, we highlight things like the job experience program, where people can come in and get 10 days of job experience and really change their lives and go out there and find a job. We also highlight characters that are fictional, but are based on people that we've met along the way that really have, we've seen a turnaround in their lives and gotten to witness those things. I've written all the songs, and Jay has written the book, and we are working with the local theater, Benson Theater, and looking at what the dates might be where we can launch this as a fully staged musical. We've done already the table read and the stage reading. So now we're going to put, choreography and costumes and lights and all those kind of fun things. And we just hope it's another way for people to really understand the mission of Table Grace Ministries, because it's really experiential. You know, if you haven't been there, we invite you to come to Table Grace Cafe, come to one of our food truck events, book our truck, book our music, be a part of the impact in the community. It's really exciting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so many great things happening. And again, what a great story. So we will continue to have conversations with you, especially as the musical gets closer. And I know people can go to your website, which is
www.tablegracecafe.com.
And I know it's probably right there below the screen as you're saying that, but you know, we've got about 30 seconds left. So I'm gonna like anything else you want viewers to know.
Well, we'd love it if you would consider supporting Table Grace Ministries with a donation. You can do that through our website. You can also consider leaving a legacy gift. And I know a lot of us don't like to think of legacy end of life giving, but it's a really important way to make sure that the community cafe and the impact that we're having goes on for years and years and decades, and you know, beyond those of us who are participating in it now, because we have seen lives transformed and we want to see that continue.
Yeah, what a beautiful, what a beautiful message. And yeah, what a wonderful organization. So thank you to you and your husband, Matt, for everything that you guys have done and continue to do. So Simone, thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you too. We appreciate the opportunity.